Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. You need to be very observant. You need to watch carefully as we expose more game rigging cheaters and maybe some assholes. It's about time we do a little bit of that. Like what's happened to our game lately? But I don't see any game rigging cheating. I've played hundreds and hundreds of battles over the last few weeks and I haven't noticed any. That's the standard point of view of many people who just either don't care or don't want to admit, or just want to be blind. I see nothing! I see not, you know, those types. They're on the forums usually, or they're other CCs, or just people that you know, don't really care and they just want to play the game, and they don't care if there's a lot of cheating in the game. They actually, you know, people, they truly believe that there isn't any cheating in the game, or very little, because they don't notice it. And I want you guys to tell me, watch carefully in this game, okay? Tell me what's going on. Now, this particular player sent me this replay. He was very observant, and he checked the post-game stats, but he started off with a little bit of fun in the game. And have you noticed already a little bit something strange going on? Have you? Oh, okay, you didn't? Okay, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. What's he waiting for? He's waiting for some little light tank to try and cross. Hoo-ha! So if you're playing this game so far, you're having fun. There's no game rigging cheating. What are you talking about, Claus? This is a fun replay. We're going to watch a Death Star. We are. We're going to watch a Death Star. Okay. He's got, a super... There's a rock there. I don't... It all depends what kind of ammunition he shot. What did he shoot? He's shooting Hesh. But if it just hit... The way HE and Hesh works now is if it just hits the front track wheel and the trajectory does not intersect the hull, you'll do 0. Right? Oh, he should. Where is he going to shoot? Shoot the T-133 in the lower plate. What are you doing? No, he's switching to AP. No! This guy does not know how to play a Death Star. Why would you switch to AP? To bounce and do 0. Oh well. If you shoot the lower plate of the T-133 with Hesh, you might penetrate. And he's looking at his barrel saying, what happened? You might penetrate, but even if you don't, you'll do 400 or 500 damage. So he's got AP now. Now, if he penetrates with AP, he'll do 11, 1200. Let's see. 1209. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I guess it 6.5 one dozen of the other, right? You penetrate 1 out of 2 AP shots, 1200. You bounce or don't penetrate 2 Hesh shots, you probably do 500, 600 each. So that makes sense. There's a E100 and a Super Conqueror there on the corner that are so far. Oh, if he could hit this shot. Oh, a little bit high. Trolled by a little bit of Wargaming RNG there. He didn't hit. It's a little sigma deviation there. Your shot didn't poop. It did not poop. It didn't poop. Okay, here we go. Maybe this shot will go in. Oh, a little bit of sigma in my life. A little bit of deviation for my... Okay, load the Hesh. He can't shoot the lower plate because that guy's behind a rock. Unlike their chieftain there, right? You notice that chieftain is he's just in a bush there. These guys on the other team have a little bit of shoot.
We didn't even scratch them.
Didn't even scratch him, and he fired Hesh. Oh, that's just bad game mechanic. He should have done. It said screen hit, so I guess the screen absorbed the full impact of that shot. What do I know about the mechanics, guys? What do I know? And this looks like a runaway victory. He's going to have to move up there and try and do something. What has he got? Well, he's got 2,889 damage. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And the E100 died. And the Super Conqueror is still there. Where's the Super Conqueror? Super Conqueror, the Super Conqueror. If that Super Conqueror gets lit again, he's ready to shoot, right? He's thinking that he's probably still there. Where is that Super Conquer? Where's that pesky Super Conquer? Is he there? Oh, he died! Daddy, the Super Conquer exploded! Wow. And it was a runaway victory, guys. Runaway victory. Boy, can he get another shot? Let's watch. Because if he can get one more shot with Hesh, he can do, what's a 1750 alpha. Let's stop it right there. Okay, now let me, perhaps that'll help you understand the game rigging cheating that was going on, but just, that might help you, that little bit of information that I just showed you. Let's see here. Maybe he can take another shot. Okay. Now I propose to you guys another blowout. Another, what is it, 12-0. Okay. The enemy team had no chance. And I propose to you that most people that would have played this game would have just said, oh, it's another blowout. And would just, you know, be happy with the victory and move to the next game. And the enemies would say, oh, another blowout freaking game. Damn it. Just sucks. Did you notice the game rigging cheaters? Did you? Did you notice? So in this particular game, there were two platoons. There was a chieftain platooned with an E100 on his team. The E100 didn't move, didn't fire his gun. All right. The chieftain finished on top with 4,833 damage, but importantly, blocked 11,720 damage. Possibly working on a damage block mission, are we, chieftain? Now, the two players on the enemy team that helped him rig this game were the E100 and the Super Conqueror, who were also platooned. The E100 fired his gun 13 times, hit the chieftain probably 11 times and bounced. The Super Conqueror fired his gun 13 times. Well, he hit the chieftain 12 times and bounced. Maybe shot some other people. But that helped the chieftain achieve 11,720 bounce damage. And of course, to top it off, the E100 was killed by the chieftain and the Super Conqueror was killed by the chieftain. The E100 was stupid enough not to anonymize himself. He's from the T1M3 clan. Let's have a look at these accounts. Here he is here, executive officer at the T1M3 clan. Over the past 60 days, his WN8 has collapsed. In the past 30 days, his WN8 is almost zero. Just involved in game rigging, I guess. The Super Conqueror on the enemy team was smart enough to anonymize himself. But in the replay file, I can find him. His name is famous game rigging cheater. This account overall has a WN8 of 1835, a blue player, pretty good WN8. But over the past 60 and 30 days, WN8 of 2 over the 56 battles of 2. Maybe helping a chieftain do a damage blocked mission and getting some marks of excellence. And that's how this chieftain ended up on top with so much damage blocked. Pido-Deuce1, you're anonymized. Let's at least expose your name. His real name is _BobaFett1 on the EU server. BobaFett1 from the EU server. Intelligence officer from the APA-ZA clan. I didn't know they had intelligence officers in this game. He's very intelligent. He anonymized himself. But we found you. Now, just a quick look back at the game. If you watch it in third person, you notice that the platoon there, the chieftain and the E100, they're platooned together. And they don't actually react right away. They're probably coordinating with the two players on the enemy team platoon as to how they're going to boost this chieftain the best. They don't react. And do you recall the bush that I stopped in where I was giving you guys a hint? Well, that's exactly where the chieftain goes. The E100 never even plays the game, all right? He's just a space holder heavy so that the other team gets two heavies. And he goes to this bush right here. There's no rock or cover there. He just sits in this bush. And the enemy team, the Super Conqueror and the E100 from the enemy team, luckily the enemy team they matched up with an E100 and a British heavy tank. Two similar tanks on both sides, so when they drop in, they can get in the same game. And these two guys just sit there and they just keep shooting the turret of the chieftain, even though the chieftain is completely exposed in that bush.
Okay, let's just
He can't shoot the lower plate because that guy's behind a rock. Unlike their chieftain there, right? You notice that chieftain is he's just in a bush there. And then when we got to this point in the game, the Super Conqueror is just sitting there, the chieftain just sitting there, and this guy was waiting to shoot. Someone please spot the Super Conqueror. Well, the chieftain knows exactly where he was because they're working together, and he blindly killed him. And this looks like a runaway victory. He's going to have to move up there and try and do something. What has he got? Well, he's got 2,889 damage. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And the E100 died. And the Super Conqueror is still there. Where's the Super Conqueror? Super Conqueror. The Super Conqueror. If that Super Conqueror gets lit again, he's ready to shoot, right? He's thinking that he's probably still there. Where is that Super Conqueror? Where's that pesky Super Conqueror? Is he there? Oh, he died! So very nice, very nice. Well hidden, well hidden. I know that it was difficult to see, but game rigging cheating nonetheless. Now, the player that sent me the replay was very observant. He plays TDs mainly, and he understands that map. He knows the positions. He likes to go on the 1-2 line, the position where he was, and he also knows the position where that chieftain was. And he thought to himself, well, this is weird because there's no cover there. There's just a bush, and the chieftain's sitting there, and there's a E100 and a Super Conqueror that are just not shooting his hull. They're just bouncing off his turret over and over again. He observed that, then he checked the post-game stats, then he checked the accounts. And after doing all that, he thought, well, that's a pretty high probability that was just a game rigging, cheating, coordinated effort by 2 platoon. Now, how many other people in that game would have even noticed? People on the other team? Nobody. How about everyone that went on the top side on that map? Would they have noticed? No. And that's why we still get these deniers that just say, well, no, it's not a problem. I don't notice it. And that's what I find weird. People just do not want to, they have this phobia that they do not want to admit that there's a problem. Yet they do admit that there's blowouts. There's blowout after blowout after blowout after blowout in this game. And that's one of the reasons there's a blowout. 2 heavy tanks on the enemy team did nothing. The chieftain just farmed. The enemy team had no chance. And people are farming and using boosting companies to get Object 279Es that don't deserve Object 279Es. Complete, utter, total muppets getting boosting companies to boost them an Object 279E or complete the missions. And oh, there goes an Object 279E. That must be a very skilled player who did all the missions. And what's he doing? Let's just have a look. What's this guy doing? Oh, he's obviously a very skilled player with a really high WN8 that worked hard and did all the missions to get himself an Object 279E. He's you can tell that he's highly addicted to this game. He's played so many battles and he knows exactly the good map positions and how to get himself a really good tank like that. There's so many players with these reward tanks now that are complete, utter clueless. You can tell they didn't get them themselves. And this is what I find ironic, is that the deniers and the fanboys will say, well, I don't notice it. But you do notice the effects. Everyone admits, yes, there's many, many blowouts. There's a lot of 15-0, 0-15, 1-15, 2-15, 15-1. And you can't explain why are there so many blowouts. But if you watch those blowouts many, many times, you have to watch them in detail and say, well, why did it happen? They see the results of these blowouts, and they see many, many, many players now getting Object 279Es and Object 260s, driving around, just horrible players. So you see the results. No one denies that. I'm seeing more and more, everyone's seeing more and more Object 279Es and Object 260s driving around like Muppets. That's true. Everyone agrees that there's blowout after blowout. There's way too many blowouts. The game's not competitive. It's degenerating into blowout after blowout. But yet the reasons for that people deny. Oh, there's no game rigging cheating, is it? That's not happening in the background, they don't think. And the reason is, guys, really, that it's hard to see. When there's a blowout and you're on the losing team or the winning team, if you're not in the right position, you don't necessarily know. You don't see it. So you just say, oh, well, you know, another blowout. When you're on a team that's... when you're a heavy tank and you're getting shot, you might as well take cover behind a light tank. That's always a good strategy, right? There's so many... The skill level of the player... And shoot your gun behind the light tank. That's a good idea. That's what you want to do. What's happened to this game, guys? What's happened to this game? Look where the E100 is. In the water. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. Another defeat, guys. This guy tried to do some spotting. But there was a really good player on his team with an Object 279E. Do we know how he got his Object 279E? Nobody knows. Is he just screwing around that game and decided to go spot the one line because the light tank wasn't doing enough spotting? Who knows, right? So we cannot deny, guys, that there's just a lot of blowouts in the games now, okay? And there's a lot of questionable people driving around in reward tanks. People are still getting in garage personal messages by boosting companies to try and offer you to do the missions. We know they exist. Wargaming is still not really saying anything or acknowledging the problem at all. But we must remember that that particular game that we just watched, the first one, yeah, it was a blowout, and it was because some players the game was rigged. They were boosting the chieftain. But that's not the only reason that you have blowouts. But it is one of them. And the other big reason is power creep. Tanks are getting faster, higher DPM, just more powerful. They can churn through HP much faster. But these things work together, right? When you have game rigging, cheating, and boosting going on, when there's one or two tanks that are not participating on one side, two heavy tanks that aren't participating on one side, and one tank taking advantage of that, they churn through the HP so quickly that the rest of the team just cannot recover from it. The game is just so much more sensitive to snowballing of control these days. In the old days, when tanks were slower and the DPM was lower, there wasn't purple equipment, there weren't field modifications, there weren't turbo boosters and special equipment to make your gun ram even faster. Your gun rammer ram fast. You know what I'm saying? Things evolved slower. The game evolved slower. And so losing one tank or two, you had more of a chance of coming back from an initial, the battle could seesaw because it didn't snowball because of less damage per unit of time. Whereas now, as soon as it starts snowballing, it's just so hard because the enemy team can pump out the damage so much faster. So they work hand in hand, and assholes also are a factor. Like, when a particular teammate decides that he wants you to just... It's about time for your turret to... And he immediately types, sorry, ping. Sorry, ping. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been pushing you for the past 20 seconds. And I noticed that you've been ammo racked. Sorry, ping. I'm sorry, ping, says Lord Anonymized here. Sorry, I found your real name, Gabby, Legend Young. I'm sorry. Sorry, I found you, Executive Officer at the LAM clan from the EU server. Sorry, I found you. You were anonymized and you were an asshole. I'm sorry. Ping. There's nothing I enjoy more than exposing these assholes and game riggers. Here again, on Klaus Kellerman's channel, where we expose this BS that no one believes happens in the game. The No BS channel that brings it to you. All right? Nobody else. No other CCs. None of them. They're all too scared. They're all, I don't want to. Wargaming might get mad at me. I like to play this game 12 hours a day, and I don't want Wargaming to be mad. Yeah, okay. Klaus Kellerman will feature it. Catch you guys on the next one.